Warriors pulled off another incredible win, and today we're diving deep into everything that went down during Game 3 of this intense playoff series. Even though no single player completely stole the spotlight, the entire team deserves a huge shout out. There was, however, one comeback that truly shifted the momentum. One of the key players returned to action with full force, instantly becoming the game's most valuable asset. His energy was contagious, and his impact undeniable, especially when he grabbed that crucial rebound that set the tone for the final minutes. Watching him step back onto the court and take control was like a breath of fresh air for this team. And that rebound sealed it. It was the defining moment. Now let's take a moment to relive that play because it was a real game changer. Speaking of his absence in the previous match, the substitute who filled in really didn't meet expectations. Throughout the game, I kept glancing over at the bench trying to spot him, but he was nowhere to be seen. No updates came through, no signs of activity, and ultimately he didn't participate at all. It's something worth talking about because it's not just about the game itself, but about the dynamics within the squad moving forward. But setting that aside for a second, the Warriors came out victorious once again, and now they lead the series 3-1. It's a huge advantage, and considering how competitive this series has been, every small win like this stacks up in a major way. Yes, he returned just in time for Game 4, grabbed that all-important rebound, and nailed the clutch free throws that basically iced the game. One of the other key players shined brightly, stepping up in a big way on both ends of the floor. And yet there was another unsung hero who quietly put up over 20 points, contributing massively to the scoreboard when it mattered most. There's so much to unpack from this win, from individual efforts to overall team execution, and we've got all the footage with stats and inside takes ready to go. The Warriors have truly taken control of the series with a commanding 3-1 lead. Before we move any further, if you're all about staying on top of every key moment from these playoffs, make sure you stick with us because it's about to get even crazier. Now, getting back to the action, we absolutely have to talk about the most crucial play of the game. Honestly, it was one of those moments you'll remember for years to come. Let's break it down right now. So here's the situation. 13 seconds left on the clock. The Warriors are hanging on to a 1-point lead. The tension in the arena was so thick you could feel it through the screen. A shot goes up, but the video footage is a bit blurry. Apologies for that. And somehow, the opposing team ends up with possession. Here's where it gets wild. One of the Warriors' best defenders steps up big time. He's guarding the paint, fighting through all kinds of pressure, making sure the opponents don't get an easy look. He had been battling foul trouble all night, but stayed locked in when it mattered most. And there he was, the returning player, pushing through the pain, giving it everything he had. He positions himself perfectly, leaps up, grabs the rebound, gets fouled immediately, and then calmly sinks the free throws under the highest pressure possible. That's the kind of clutch performance that separates good teams from great ones. Even though the opposing side had one last shot, a three-pointer, that could have flipped the script. They couldn't make it happen. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, the Warriors bench exploded with energy, celebrating every second as the final buzzer drew near. This win wasn't just about a single play. It symbolized the grit and heart this team has been showing all postseason. I have to say, from my perspective, one of the best things about these games is witnessing just how much fight these players have. This was without a doubt one of the best playoff battles we've seen so far. The Warriors came out strong, controlled the first quarter, and built a solid lead. But, as always happens at this stage, the other team fought back hard. They managed to close the gap and actually overtook the Warriors by halftime thanks to a strong second quarter run. Drama was everywhere. Players were getting heated. Technical fouls were flying left and right. One player picked up a technical and another key foul, throwing off the Warriors' rhythm. Even the rookies were getting involved, showing that fiery playoff spirit. It really shook up the game's momentum right when the Warriors needed stability. The opponents ended the first half with a surge that gave them the lead at the break. But the Warriors, to their credit, came storming back in the third quarter, fueled by the energy of their incredible home crowd. Still, finishing that third quarter, strong remained a challenge. As the game rolled into the final stretch, it turned into a back-and-forth slugfest. Lead changes, physical plays, tense moments. This was playoff basketball at its finest. Honestly, these are exactly the types of games that the Warriors often struggled to win before some key roster changes. But now, with a little more depth and resilience, they fought through the adversity and pulled out a huge victory. The third quarter wasn't pretty. Foul trouble continued to haunt the Warriors, creating some real headaches. Yet as the fourth quarter unfolded, it became a true dogfight. These are the types of games that used to expose this team's weaknesses. They would buckle under pressure, lose focus, and let the game slip away. Not this time. The new additions to the roster have brought a toughness that was sorely needed, and it showed. One glaring concern, though, was how badly the Warriors were. Beaten in points in the paint. They got outscored 48-28 in that area. Losing the battle inside by 20 points is not just concerning, it's a massive red flag, especially with even bigger, stronger opponents waiting deeper. In the playoffs, it's a challenge they have to address immediately because if they don't clean that up, it could become their Achilles heel. It's something that reminds me a lot of the issues another prominent team faced recently. Getting bullied around the rim and paying the price when it mattered most. One thing that really helped tip the balance was the Warriors' near perfect performance from the free throw line. They hit 20 out of 22 attempts. Earlier this season, free throws were a nightmare for them. They were hovering around 70%, one of the worst percentages in the league. Since adding a key player to the rotation, their free throw shooting has significantly improved, moving up toward the 75 to 80% range. And in this game, they shot a blazing 91% from the line. Compare that to their opponents, who only hit 19 out of 31 free throws, barely over 60%. When you look at the final margin of victory being just 3 points, it's obvious how critical free throws were. A few more made shots for the opposing team, and we might be talking about a completely different outcome right now. That's how fine the line is between winning and losing in the playoffs. Another important factor was the Warriors' success behind the arc. They knocked down 6 more three-pointers than their opponents, totaling 18 extra points. That was a huge difference maker, especially considering they put up 46 attempts. Not all of them were pretty. One player in particular struggled early on, missing some wide-open looks, but the volume and persistence paid off. Turnovers were still a bit of a problem, though. Normally, if you turn the ball over 15 times in a playoff game, it spells disaster, but somehow the Warriors overcame that negative margin by forcing enough mistakes on the other side and capitalizing on those opportunities. They scored 20 points off turnovers, which is on the higher end, but absolutely necessary given the circumstances. The ball movement was another highlight. With 27 assists on 36 made baskets, the Warriors played beautiful, unselfish basketball. The ball was zipping around the court, finding open shooters, slicing through the defense. One player I want to spotlight, and it's impossible not to, is Draymond Green. Say what you want about his intensity or sometimes reckless energy, but when he's locked in, he changes games. In this one, he posted 6 points, 8 rebounds, 7 of them defensive, and did it all while battling foul trouble. He managed to stay involved, protect the paint, and contribute in big ways even without filling up the stat sheet offensively. Then there's another star who came back from a nagging back injury and absolutely lit it up. 27 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and a perfect 12 for 12 from the free throw line. That's the kind of efficiency you dream about in a playoff setting. Meanwhile, another steady hand added 17 points and kept the offense flowing with 3 assists, even though his biggest impact came through off-ball movement and floor spacing rather than flashy stats. One more player contributed 15 points, and yet another dropped 26, knocking down 6 out of 11 from deep. A major bounce-back performance after struggling with illness in Game 2. Even the young guys stepped up when needed. One rookie got 6 crucial minutes during the third quarter when foul trouble forced some lineup changes. He wasn't a game changer, but just being ready and contributing matters in these high-stakes moments. Another player gave the team 13 points, showed some toughness inside, and battled against some of the most physical bigs in the league. His effort deserves serious respect. And speaking of young talent, there's one emerging star who's turning heads fast. I haven't watched him a ton yet, but from what we're seeing, he's got all the tools to become a serious force. He posted 31 points and 10 rebounds, a full double-double, showing polish way beyond his years. Even some of the role players stepped up. Another guy chipped in 11 points and kept bringing his trademark feistiness. It's those little things, the energy, the hustle, the willingness to get under the opponent's skin, that often swing playoff games. And we can't forget one sharpshooter who didn't have his best series start but caught fire in game 4, sinking 8 out of 12 from downtown and racking up 25 points to keep the Warriors in control down the stretch. This win was absolutely massive for the team's confidence and momentum. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. The NBA has officially confirmed the suspension of Miami Heat forward Jimmy Butler and Houston Rockets guard Dillon Brooks following a heated verbal altercation that escalated during their most recent matchup. The league's disciplinary decision was announced after both players exchanged insults on and off the court, drawing the attention of referees, fans, and league officials alike. The confrontation began during the second quarter of the game and intensified after a physical play that resulted in both teams being separated by coaching staff and security personnel. According to the league's statement, the suspensions come as a result of unsportsmanlike conduct detrimental to the image of the NBA. Both Butler and Brooks were found to have violated the NBA's code of conduct, engaging in language and gestures that crossed the boundaries of competitive spirit. The league emphasized its commitment to maintaining respect and professionalism among its athletes, reinforcing that actions like those seen between Butler and Brooks will not be tolerated regardless of the game's intensity or stakes. Sources close to the situation revealed that the tension between the two players had been brewing long before the game, with past incidents contributing to the friction. Their mutual animosity finally reached a boiling point on the hardwood, culminating in the altercation that led to the league's intervention. The suspensions are expected to last 1 game each, and both players will also be fined an undisclosed amount. The absences are a blow to their respective teams, particularly with the playoff race heating up. Butler, a key leader for the Heat, has been instrumental in the team's recent success, while Brooks has played a central role in the Rockets' defensive schemes. Their suspensions add a layer of tension as both franchises navigate critical moments of the season. While neither player has issued an official apology, both organizations have released brief statements acknowledging the league's decision and expressing a desire to move forward. As the NBA continues to promote sportsmanship and discipline, the message is clear. Personal feuds must not overshadow the integrity of the game. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.